Let's bring in NBC 10 political commentator Sue O'Connell.
Sue, before we get into today's meeting, you say Mark Carney would not be prime minister if not for President Trump. Why?
Well, JC, the once dominant conservative party, once a few months ago, had a commanding 25-point lead. And some of their leaders actually shared some of the viewpoints Donald Trump has. And then came Trump's threats and the tariffs against Canada. And the result was this surge of Canadian pride that we haven't seen in a long time. And it unexpectedly benefited the Liberal Party. So Trump's threats that he wanted to make Canada the 51st state, that became the central election issue. And these are the results.
So something similar happened in Australia as well, I believe.
Exactly.
All right, so the president has not been very complimentary of Canada, saying he wants to make it the 51st state, as you mentioned, accused them of funneling fentanyl across the border, and is now wrapped up in the trade war as well with Canada. So why these two countries meet, these two leaders meet, it kind of seems like they're enemies.
Right. So America remains the most important superpower in the world, right? And Canada needs the U.S. more than we need them, even though they are our biggest client. But we share security and defense concerns, and there are a lot of issues like those, as the Prime Minister said, that we have to work together on. And look, I imagine Prime Minister Carney wanted his Love Actually moment. He played the Hugh Grant role, and Trump was Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, Google it if you haven't seen that scene. It's good. You know, reflecting back, Sue, when the president met with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky in the Oval Office, he memorably said, "You're not holding any of the cards," meaning you don't have the power to ask for anything. In your opinion, who's holding the cards if there's a standoff between the U.S. and Canada?
So, JC, if this were just a conflict between the U.S. and Canada, I would say the U.S. absolutely has all the cards. But look, we're having tense relations with all of our allies. So while a drop in Canadian tourism, higher energy prices, more expensive aluminum, that might sting us, we could probably just shake it off. But if you add the continuing high price of eggs, a drop in foreign student enrollment, supply chain concerns, Canada then has more cards than Trump may think.
NBC 10 political commentator Sue O'Connell, thank you.
You're welcome.